Rolling.
Alright, as this is covering George Carlin, it's the first time I've done this during a private presentation. Something else I'm getting tired of is all this stupid bullshit we have to listen to all the time about the children. That's all you hear about in this country. Children. Help the children. What about the children? Save the children. You know what I say? Fuck the children. Fuck them. They're getting entirely way too much attention. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Jesus, he's not going to attack children, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to attack children. Remember, this is Mr. Conductor talking. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, and I also know that all you single dads and soccer moms who think you're such fucking heroes, and you're not going to like this, but somebody's got to tell you for your own good. Your children are overrated and overvalued. You turned them into little cult objects. You have a child fetish, and it's not healthy. Don't give me any of this weak shit. Oh, I love my children. Fuck you. Everybody loves their children. It doesn't make you special. John Wayne Gacy loved his children. He kept them right in the yard by the garbage. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this constant, mindless yammering in the media about this neurotic fixation that somehow everything has to be revolved around children. It's completely out of balance. There's a couple things about children you have to remember. First of all, they're not all cute, okay? In fact, if you look at them close, a lot of them are unpleasant looking, and a lot of them don't smell too good either. The little ones in particular seem to have a urine and sour milk combination. Stay with me on this. The sooner you face this, the better off you'll be. Second premise, not all children are smart and clever. Got that? Kids are like any other group of people. A few winners and a whole lot of losers. There are a lot of losers out there who simply aren't going anywhere, and you can't save them all. You can't save them all. You gotta cut them loose. You gotta stop overpopulating them, overprotecting them, because you're making them way too soft. Today's kids are way too soft. For one thing, there's way too much emphasis on safety. Child-proof medicine bottles, fire-proof pajamas, child restraints and car seats and helmets, bicycles, skateboards, baseball helmets. Kids have to wear helmets now for everything but jerking off. Grown-ups have taken all the fun out of being a kid just to save a few thousand lives. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. What is happening is, you know what it is? These baby boomers, these soft, fruity baby boomers, are raising an entire generation of soft, fruity kids who aren't even allowed to have hazardous toys, for Christ's sake. Hazardous toys, shit. Whatever happened to natural selection, survival of the fittest? The kid who swallows too many marbles doesn't get to grow up and have kids of their own. Simple as that. Simple. Nature knows best. We are saving an entire too many lives in this country of all ages. Nature should be allowed to do its job by killing off the weak and sickly and ignorant people without the help of airbags and batting helmets. Just think of it as passive eugenics. Now here's another example of overprotection. Did you ever notice on the TV news, every time some guy with an AK-47 strolls onto a schoolyard and kills 3 or 4 kids and a couple of teachers, the next day the whole school is overrun by counselors, psychiatrists, and grief counselors, and trauma therapists trying to help the children cope? Shit. When I was in school and someone came to school and killed 3 or 4 of us, we went right on with our arithmetic. 35 classmates minus 4 equals 31. We were tough. I say if kids can handle the violence at home, they can handle the violence in school. I'm not worried about guns in school. You know what I'm waiting for? Guns in church. And it will happen. That's going to be a lot of fun. Some nut will go fucking ape shit in a church, and they will refer to him as a disgruntled worshiper. Here's another bunch of ignorant shit. School uniforms. Bad theory. The idea if kids wear uniforms, it'll help keep order. Don't these schools do enough damage by making these kids think alike? Now they want them to look alike too? This is not a new idea. I saw it in newsreels from the 1930s, but it was hard to understand because the narration was in German.
I knew that was coming.
One more item about children, and it is this superstitious nonsense that blames tobacco companies for causing kids to smoke. Listen, kids don't smoke because a camel in sunglasses tell them to. They smoke for the same reason that adults do, because it relieves anxiety and depression. And you'd be anxious and depressed too if you had to put up with these pathetic, insecure, striving, anal, yuppie parents who enroll you in college before you're old enough to know which side of the playpen smells the worst. And then they fill you with this. Then they fill you full of Ritalin and drag you all over town in search of meaningless structure. Little League, Cub Scouts, swimming, soccer, karate, piano, bagpipes, watercolors, witchcraft, glass blowing, and dildo practice. I don't think the dildo practice is true.
No, it's not.
They even have play dates, for Christ's sake. Playing is now done by appointment. Whatever happened to you? You show me your wee wee, and I'll show you mine. Hey, no wonder why kids smoke. It helps. Not as much as weed. And he went, when he did it, you can't have everything. You know it's true. Parents are burning these kids out on structure. I think every day all children should have 3 hours of daydreaming. Just daydreaming. And you can use some of it yourself. Just sit at the window and stare at the clouds. It's good for you. You want to know how to help your kids? Leave them the fuck alone.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
And done, so I know we should have plenty of time for this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, in ways my parents were like that, and in ways they weren't. They were overprotective in the sense that they wanted to keep me in retard mode, but they didn't worship me, and they didn't fetishize me or think I was cute or anything.
Well, maybe if we were conformists, they would.
Well, that's not me. Not you either.
I'm sure we've got plenty of time, but where are we at?
7:42.
Let's see, what was the one thing maybe you mentioned that... Oh, no, I can't fucking find it. Oh, fuck, I don't know what it is now. Oh, fuck, I don't know. But there was something I wanted to bring up from what was in there. Maybe it was something I didn't totally agree with, but...
Yeah, I always thought that bullshit about grief counselors is ridiculous. That wasn't a thing when I was a kid.
Were there any shootings in your school when you were a kid?
No.
Did anyone croak when you were a kid in school?
Yeah, a few. Yeah, 2 girls on separate occasions died of leukemia. One was normal and popular, the other was in the retard class.
They had a retard class?
Yeah.
Well, it was that must have been similar to special ed.
Yeah, similar, yeah.
Well, they must have expanded it, because I was in special ed when I was...
Oh, yeah. No, these kids were all actually mentally retarded. So anyway, this girl had leukemia, and she croaked, and I felt sorry for her. So me and another friend went to see her like laid out in her coffin in church, and this bunch of boys came in and they were like pointing and laughing at her and calling her names because she wasn't popular and pretty.
I remember I was fascinated. I couldn't wait to see my first dead body.
Yeah, I think that was my first dead body too.
It was my Aunt Seal who croaked that. I think that was the first dead body I got to see. And she was nice to me, though.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I wonder if she would have, maybe when I got more outgoing and more controversial, I wonder if she would have continued to be nice to me.
Yeah, that's true. That. Yeah, you don't know. I wonder what she would have thought of your language and your taste in music.
Yeah, and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, she knew I liked. I think she knew I liked regular rock music and things like that at the time.
Well, I'm talking about stuff like Gigi Allen.
And where were we at with time?
A little, 10 minutes and 5 seconds, so that.
So I'm glad I finally got to cover George Carlin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find what the fuck I wanted to bring up here, and I can't find it. Oh, God. Well, you could bring anything else up when I'm looking for it.
It was funny when he said that about, how some little kids have a horrible smell, like urine and sour milk. That's what my brother smelled like when my parents first brought him home from the hospital, and I was very disappointed. I was expecting this pretty little sweet-smelling doll. Instead, they shoved this thing in my face, this ugly, wrinkled, red thing that wouldn't stop crying, and it stank.
What rich brother was that?
My oldest, the one I'm very close to now. I was so disappointed. I had a tantrum. I started stamping my feet, and I said to parents, I said to my parents, "It's ugly. Bring it back and get me a new one." And they laughed. Oh, I know. I said it's ugly and it stinks. Yeah.
How old were you when you did that?
Like 3.
You were able to talk when you were 3 years old?
Kind of, sort of. I wasn't as articulate as I am now.
Well, it took me until about close to 5 years old before I was able to talk.
Oh.
Was that a sign of Asperger's?
It might be.
Yeah, and then people wanted me to talk, and then it would come out of my shell, blah, blah, blah. And then when I finally did, they didn't like what I had to say.
Well, fuck them. Yeah, it's 12 minutes now. I wish you could find that.
Yeah, of course I'll think of it when the video's done.
Oh, of course you will.
Oh, yeah. I think the guns in church.
That already has happened.
Well, I know that.
And in synagogue and in mosques. Did your parents treat you the way George Carlin was describing that today's parents treat their kids?
No, they treated me like shit.
Yeah, same.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of parents who still treat their kids like shit, though.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, those are the kids that probably don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you the parents of bullies, pamper and coddle their kids like, oh, my little angel, blah, 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 which is why those kids end up being bullies, because their parents have taught them, it's all about you. It's all about what you want. The fuck with everyone else.
Well, I don't think they quite say that. Because if they had a nonconformist, they would flip.
Oh, you bet they would. They'd go apeshit over that. Yeah. Oh,
well,
yeah.
And then if the nonconformists was only cared about themselves, blah blah blah, then they would get all self-righteous and say you're selfish.
Oh,
or if someone
probably.
throws crumbs at you, should. And my mother used to say that you should be grateful for what you got. And then.
Don't get me wrong. There is a time and a place for gratitude, but I'm not grateful if someone. Is condescending and they think I should just accept any old thing because that's all I deserve.
Where's the time at?
13:53.
Yeah, there was something about my parents I wanted to bring up. Now I can't remember what it is. Well, we're speaking of George Carlin. This is not what I wanted to say.
All right, quick.
But I do remember when I told my mother about a George Carlin special, and then George Carlin mentioned that Sony should come up with a part cassette player and colostomy bag, and they should call it Shit Man.
Oh, I love it. That's great. Anyway,
my mother reacted by saying, "That's insulting to people who have to wear a colostomy bag."
Oh God.
Yeah, she had no sense of humor.
Apparently not. Anyway, it's just about that time, so let's shut this.